All right, guys, I'm going to quickly go over two examples for your homework tonight. I'm going to go over numbers 5 and 6 and reminding you guys that your homework assignment tonight is numbers 15 and 16. I'm posting a PDF of the homework page in case you lost it. So just make sure that, remember guys, all you need to do for your homework is just do it on a separate sheet of paper and turn it in. I would prefer that you don't do it on the sheet that I gave you guys just because the work gets kind of scrunched. And it's hard to read both for me and you. So do it on a separate sheet. Make sure you put your name on it so that when you turn it in, I know whose it is. So do that now. Put your name on your homework. 4x minus 2y equals negative 2, and 3x plus 2y equals negative 12. And what we're trying to do, both of these equations, you're going to notice, if I draw a line down the equal sign, both of these equations do not have x or y by itself. Okay, this is ax plus by equals c, or if I write it like this here, ax plus by equals c, this is called standard form. When your equations are in standard form, again, these are both representing the equation. Each equation represents a line. The best way to solve this is to use what's called the elimination method. Okay? Now, the elimination method, all you want to do is create a zero. Okay? You're going to notice that when they're both in standard form, your x's line up, your y's line up, and your numbers line up. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get either the x's to become a 0x or the y terms to become a 0y. Okay, you're trying to create a 0 on either the x or the y. And if we look at this, you're going to do this by either adding or subtracting. So if we try to add these, for example, let's look at the x terms. Well, let's not even say addition. Let's just try adding or subtracting the x terms. If I take 4x and I add 3x, that's going to be a 7x. That's not a 0. If I try to subtract them, 4x minus 3x would be a 1x. Neither adding nor subtracting the 4x and the 3x will create a 0. But if you look here on the negative 2 and the positive 2, when the signs are opposite like this and the numbers match, if you add, this will create a 0. Okay, so for opposite signs, we want to do addition. And this means that if I take a negative 2y and add a positive 2y, remember, we just think of a number line. If I go left 2, I'm at negative 2. And then if I go right 2, I'm right back at 0 again. Negative 2 plus 2 is what? 0. Let's go ahead and add everything else. 4x plus 3x is 7x. Negative 2 plus negative 12. Remember, we're thinking number line here, guys. Addition is easy. In fact, we're going to turn all of this into addition. I'll show you on the next problem, just so that we follow our rules. If I have a negative 2 plus a negative 12, that means I'm going where? Left 2, which puts me at negative 2. And then I have to go left 12 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And if you count all of this, that's going to be negative 14. Again, when you're getting further away from 0, when you went 2 units and then 12 more units away from 0, this is addition. So we end up with negative 14. Now your equation here, if I just bring this together, you guys are looking at 7x equals negative 14. And now all you have to do is divide by 7 to finish solving for x. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And when we have opposite signs dividing, this one's negative, this one's positive, we end up with a negative 2. Okay? So we got our x value, but remember, this is only the first number in our point of intersection. The point of intersection has an x and a y value. The x value is our first number. We need to find the y by taking this x value and plugging it back in to one of the equations. I'm going to use the top equation. So instead of writing 4x, I'm going to write 4, and I'm going to replace x with negative 2. So let's do that. We have, where do I want to put this? Okay, I'll put it right here. 4, not x, but we're going to put negative 2 in parentheses. And then we have minus 2y equals negative 2. So basically what I did, guys, is I wrote this equation and replaced the x with negative 2. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Just got to multiply these together and rewrite everything else. Minus 2y equals negative 2. Draw your line down your equal sign. Now we're going to add 8. Okay. You guys know how to do this. We want to get rid of the bad guys. Add 8. We have negative 2y equals. Now, when you're doing negative 2 plus 8, remember, this is a turnaround on the number line, and turning around is subtraction. Let me make sure that camera is picking up that far right side over there. Yeah, it is. Negative 2 plus 8 is subtraction because you're turning around on the number line. If you go negative 2, and then you turn around and go positive 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you will find that you are at positive 6. So you could have just done 8 minus 2 and got 6 and realized that your larger number is positive, and therefore you're going to be on the positive side of 0, making this a positive 6. At the end, we're going to divide by negative 2. When we do this, we have y equals 6 divided by 2 is 3, and a positive divided by negative is negative. So we get y equals negative 3, and so our answer is negative 2, negative 3. Okay? You guys can obviously rewind the video. I'm going to go ahead and erase this, and we're going to quickly do number 6, and then I'm going to set you guys on your way. Okay? Number 6, 3x plus 2y equals 4, and 3x plus 6y equals negative 24, okay? Again, we have two equations, and we're trying to create a 0, right? So we're looking for matching x terms or matching y terms, and you're going to notice that the x terms match very nicely here. Notice that if we try to add these equations, 3x plus 3x is not going to be a 0. That's going to be a 6x. If we want to create a 0, we realize very quickly that we need to subtract. 3 minus 3 will give 0. Now, what I don't want you guys doing is actually subtracting equations. I want you guys only adding, okay? It's going to make things less confusing. So let me talk about changing subtraction to addition. If I have 5 minus 2, any subtraction problem in math can be turned into addition by taking the negative and attaching it to the 2 and changing this to addition. 5 plus negative 2 is also 3, just like 5 minus 2 is 3. Both of these are the same thing. So what we're going to do with the negative to turn this into an addition problem is we're going to take the negative, we're going to put parentheses around this equation, and we're going to take the negative and we're going to distribute to every term. What is this going to do? This is going to change the sign of every term. Negative 1 times 3 makes this a negative 3. Negative 1 times 6 is going to make this a negative 6. And a negative 1 times a negative 24 is going to change this to a positive 24. Once you have distributed the negative, you're going to change this now to an addition sign. And it helps if you erase the parentheses. And now do the problem. Okay, so all we did really, to take you back, you don't even need to put the parentheses. To take you back to the original problem, all you have to do is realize, hey, I'm subtracting, but I don't want to subtract, I want to add. So let me just change all my signs first, and then we're going to change this to an addition sign. So we're going to make this negative, and make the 24 positive, and change this to addition. Now we have 3 plus negative 3 is 0, okay? 2 plus negative 6 is going to be negative 4y. Why? Because you have opposite signs, and opposite signs mean we are subtracting. 6 minus 2 is 4, and the larger number is negative, so we have a negative 4. Finally, here's our equal sign. 4 plus 24 is 28. We're now going to divide by 4. Oops, excuse me. This is a negative 4. We're going to divide by negative 4 on both sides. Now we have y equals what? 28 divided by 4 is 7. Positive divided by negative is negative. We now have our y value of our point of intersection. And to find the x value, we just have to take this y value and plug it back into one of the equations for y. Let's use the top equation. So 3x plus 2. But we're not writing y. We're going to put the negative 7. Put it in parentheses because this is multiplication. Otherwise, it looks like 27. Make sure you put the parentheses around it. Now we're going to have 3x plus, well, maybe not plus. Hold on. Think of this as a positive 2 times a negative 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Positive times negative is negative. So this is going to be a negative 14 equals 4. And the negative becomes a subtraction sign. Now let's finish this. We're going to add 14. These cancel. Now we have 3x equals what? 18. Because 4 plus 14 is 18. Finally, divide by 3. And we get x equals, 3 goes into 18 6 times. So we get x equals 6. And now we finally have our point of intersection, and that concludes the video, guys. Good luck on your homework. Remember to do 15 and 16. Turn it in tomorrow, and I will see you guys tomorrow.